Good evening, everyone. How is everybody feeling? One word quickly to tell me how are you feeling? Are you excited for today's session? All right. Good evening. Good evening on behalf of Centa. We are very delighted to have you all us on Centa's webinar series for teachers. Centalks is led by global expert and offers the Centa teacher community insights into the classroom practices and professional growth. Register to these sessions and actively participate by sharing your thoughts, joining polls, asking questions, giving feedback to help us improve them for you. Today, we have a session on a very relevant topic, a topic that helps us all in the classroom and is the need of the hour, which is technology integration, best practices for using EdTech in the classroom. Are we all excited to have the session? Very much. Okay, thank you. We are excited to announce that today's facilitator is Mugdang Dogra Gopep. Welcome, Mugdang.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank
we
you.
have you.
Thank you.
We
Thank you
have
for
you
having
with
me.
us.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Mr. Mugdang Dogra Gopep is dedicated educator from the Plateau State, Nigeria. He's passionate about teaching and educational research. He holds a master's in educational technology and a bachelor's in mathematics education. His key interest focuses on innovative teaching methods and enhancing classroom practices to improve student learning experiences. Very relevant work over there. He has had the honor of facilitating and strengthening mathematics and science education SMASE program, an initiative supported by the JICA in Nigeria. In 2024, he proudly represented Africa at the Global Teachers Meet, the GTM, by participating in Global Showcase, Envisioning the Classroom of Tomorrow category organized by Center. Currently, he teaches mathematics, ICT, and basic technology at primary level while also lecturing in educational technology at the tertiary level. Beyond the classroom, he is deeply committed to teacher development, actively engaging with educators through social media platforms, and his mission is to empower teachers by helping them integrate technology and innovative strategies into their practice, ultimately making education much more impactful and engaging. Welcome again to our esteemed facilitator, and over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks for this time you have given unto me. I want to appreciate Center once more again for having me for the second time in this particular webinar and this platform. I have nothing more than to appreciate the entire of the center because center has rightly done so much for me. And today, I believe that I'm joining so many category of teachers in the entire of this world, cut across the number of countries that we are registered under this particular platform of teachers center. I know I will be facilitating this particular topic to various teachers in different levels. I believe that. And today, I know so much that by this time around, some is morning time, some is evening time, but here in Nigeria is around afternoon time. I know I will be having this session with primary school teachers. I know I will be having this session with secondary school teachers. I know I'll be having with university and other tertiary institutions. Therefore, today is a special day, very special. So if you wouldn't mind, this will come your way. We will be looking at technology integration, best practices for using EdTech in the classroom. But before we begin, I would want to ask the center team to help me play this video.
Mostly memorization. This is traditional teaching, teacher-centered, textbook-dependent, and limited in engagement. While it provides structure, it often fails to accommodate different learning styles and limits student interaction. Now, picture a modern classroom. Students actively participate using tablets, interactive whiteboards, and AI-powered tools. Lessons include videos, virtual reality experiences, and online discussions. This technology-driven teaching is student-centered, engaging, and tailored to individual needs. It encourages collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. The key difference? Traditional teaching relies on passive learning, while technology-enhanced education fosters active engagement and personalized learning. As educators, we must ask, are we preparing students for the past or the future? The choice is clear. Embracing technology in teaching is no longer optional. It's essential.
Thank you so much. I believe so much that you must have listened to this video very well. In today's age where we have found ourselves in the technology that God has given unto us, what is it you're taught as a teacher? What do you think of it? Today, the world has changed. The system has changed. Which position do you belong? That is the pivotal position that each and every one of us as teachers should ask. Am I teaching? Are you teaching in the traditional way, or are you teaching in the conventional way, where technology takes center stage? But before now, let's go to the next slide and see what exactly in the ice break and see what exactly it is. I want you participants from all walks of life, look at this particular icebreaker and give your responses through the chat box. What exactly do you think of it as a teacher? Haven't listened to this particular video. What it is your own thought? What do you think you can do? Let's begin to hear the responses from the participants. What exactly, as a teacher, what are your thoughts on self-evaluation today? Is there any need to seek for redress? Let's get to hear those particular responses from participants. Please, the floor is open. You have about 2 or 3. Let's begin to see your responses. I'll give you some seconds now to listen to your responses and know exactly what it is after listening to this particular video. Okay, the center team, can I hear maybe some responses from them? Let's get to hear and see what exactly it is, their own responses. Can the center team help me with the results? Hello? Is the center team there? Can you help me with the results, the responses from our participants today?
Yes, sir. So, Mamta Singh mentions that to upgrade ourselves is the need of the day.
Yes, that's a good one. Okay, yes, I can. I have to do those responses that technology is essential and there is need for redress. Actually, that is good. Sitting, it is a reflection. Technology will enhance, and a lot more of such responses are coming. That's a very good one. You can now see that people have seen that there's the need for them to seek for this redress. That is to say that there has been this particular nonchalant attitude from us, or not having the mind of embracing the changes that are happening in the society of recent from our own very teachers. Now let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. Good. Now, having looked at the whole of this, you can now understand and believe with me that if after a successful presentation of this, as teachers, I have this at the back of my mind, that by the end of this particular session, my objectives are as follows. These are my key targets that at the end of this, so many of you seated and participating today will have a change of attitude towards technology, to see reasons for us to to have an integration of technology into our classrooms today. One, by the end of this, I want my participants to equip teachers with practical strategies for effectively integrating educational technology in our classrooms. This has actually not helped us. This will provide us with a very integrated skills that will help us in the end. After that, I would want to encourage a shift from a traditional to digital pedagogical approaches. Thirdly, I want to foster student-centered learning through innovative digital tools. In another way, teachers should align digital tools with learning outcomes to enhance students' engagement. As teachers, we know what really it is that from the beginning of our own expectations, that is the outcomes. In all that we will do, we'll always be focusing on what will be the outcome, what will be the learning outcome. After a successful presentation, will there be an attitudinal change in the life of these students? That is exactly what it is in our minds. Therefore, I tend to achieve this by the end of this particular session. Next slide, please. Good. In this slide, I want to look at it from this point, that this integration, technology integration in the classroom, that we will use educational technology. What will it look like? The first thing for me to look like to see it is this. Should it just come as just any form? Should it just dive from another angle into this particular situation we have found ourselves in? But come to see this particular intention is moving beyond its usual technology to strategically integrating. It means we should shift from simply having devices in the classroom to thoughtfully weaving them into lessons to actually improve teaching and learning outcomes, making education more effective and engaging. That is what I looked at. This particular importance of thoughtful technology integration in our classroom. We should be able to see some actual improvement in teaching and learning outcomes after using the traditional and having inculcated the technology into it. All it is in attempt to see that we improve teaching and learning outcome in our class by making education more effective and engaging. Once your students in the class are engaged very well, they themselves will enjoy being in the class. Gone are those days that you see students seated in the class, the teacher will continue to exhaust himself, talk from this end to the other end. That makes the teacher exhaust himself, and the students are just being passive in the class. But when we look at it from that point, it will now help us to have some thoughtful technology integrations in our classroom of today. After that, what exactly it is, this effective technology integration? Think of it like this. Just having a hammer doesn't make a good carpenter. If a carpenter just have an hammer with him or with her, does that make that carpenter a good carpenter? Not at all. You need to know how and why to use it to build something well. That is an example. Simple using technology in class is like just having the hammer around. Students might use tablets to type or watch videos, but might not really know how to use it. Now, using it by integration effectively gives the impact of what we want to see, that can give a very mutual way of improvement in the teaching and learning outcome in the class. Look at this particular picture, it is an example. When all of them are seated like this, and they use these whiteboards, and a lot of those slides are being presented to them. They are seeing it, and they are also using their own systems. They are using their laptops together with them, tablets, and the rest of them. That helps in the integration of this technology into the classroom as the teacher is doing it. And by so doing, you will discover that the teacher will not be exhausting itself so much, but when it is interactive, everybody in the class enjoy it. You, the teacher, have some time to rest as they respond to you. So that is another very good example that we are talking about. And by that, we can now say that strategically, integrating technology is like the skill carpenter using the hammer precisely to build a strong structure. It means teachers carefully will better suited to show students how to learn best. The goal is to make education work better. That is the major goal of it, is for us to make education look better and keep students more interested in the classroom. Once you do the integration, for example, children of nowadays, they are so much attracted to doing things that they will be touching within themselves. And that again defines the Bloom's taxonomy of education, which talked about you feeling the cognitive, the psychomotor, and the rest of those particular functions of the system of the body. Keeps you very active in the class as you are doing it. So the goal of putting technology into class is to make teaching better and help students learn more effectively. And when you do that, the best practices that can help us are as follows. One, it makes the learning more fun. They can make lesson more interesting and keep students wanting to learn again. They will be eager to see themselves learning on and on and on and on. Better understanding because they are involved in it. Skills for the future. It also helps in the skills because by the time you are using the system, it will open you to so many other things that you can use those particular knowledge of the technology to also do some certain skills that can help you in the next future. Embracing technology enhances education as well. All of this, when they are integrated in the classroom, our tomorrow, our future looks more brighter. Next slide, please. Good. Why integrate technology in education? Why do we integrate technology in education? The reason is just very simple. The integration of technology into education, one, it enhances students' engagement, just like we have said. It enhances their own engagement. As you watch that particular video, you discover that in the traditional way, we are not throwing the traditional education completely, but what we are doing is see a way of making that traditional way that can help in enhancing the education into the classroom using some technology in the classroom. So by the time, the reason why we are using technology in the education line or field is because it will enhance students' engagement. Two, it improves access to learning materials. Sometimes books are more costly than using the social media, the internet, and the rest of those particular platforms to get information. And you can get them at the comfort of your zone. With just a phone in your hand, you can be able to access a lot of information that can help you, can build the student in the class. If teachers successfully and effectively will use this technology very well and teach the students in the class, it will enhance them, it will boost their own memory, it will boost their own reasonings of whatever it is in the class. This next one is it prepares students for a digital future, which we have rightly said it here. It prepares them for what? For digital future. Imagine, we'll come to look at it from this point, that from the primary school, a child is being integrated into technology, and that child begins with the technology knowledge from primary level. It moves to the secondary school level, and it falls back into the tertiary level. You can now see how that child will look like in the future, technologically wise. And that it in itself again is part of the reasons why it is expected of us teachers to integrate technology in education. The next one, after that, it facilitates differentiated instructions. You can get different information on the social media or online, but you can effectively use those ones to make it work better for you. All of this helps in making learning more interactive and more simple and perfect for us. And after that, this particular poll question is for us to answer. How often, as a teacher that is listening to this particular class today, how often do you use digital tools in your classroom? How often do you use digital tools in your classrooms or in your lessons? I will give this time. Allah.
Waiting for another 2 seconds for people to vote in. I can see
Yes.
about 160 votes, and 49% of us say that we use technology and digital tools in our lessons almost daily.
Good. Good.
Waiting for a few more responses.
All right. All right. All right. Let the response keep coming. Let the response keep coming. It will help us. Now, after that, you can now see that that has helped us. Seriously, it has helped us. If actually we are using the technology in our classes and the tools, varied tools that we have, as many as they are, we can have them as many as they are. And if we have that, let's look at it. After knowing the reason why we should use technology in our classes or in our lessons, the evolution of technology in education, when did it start? Is it only at this particular time of ours that we are talking and drumming about it? Or it has been there in existence for a very long time? Let's look at it. The pre-digital era, foundation building, early tools like chalkboards and the printing press enable wider information sharing, and the initial use of visual and auditory aids, moving beyond solely oral teaching methods. That is to say that there are a lot of those integration of technology or the uses of technology in the classroom even before now. It is only that it has been improved upon time after time, that today we have tools that we can use that aid this particular integration in the classroom when we are using it for best practices. Remember, what we are looking at is what will make us have the best practices in the classroom of today. Secondly, the rise of audiovisual media and early computing electronic introduction. You remember the coming of computer into play in the mid 20th century. So the increased use of audiovisual tools and the initial limited introduction of computers into education, that really was at that time, it was not that much that we have. But what we are saying is, even before that time, there were all of this integration, but not as improved as it is now that we have. The internet, what of the internet? The internet that came, make learning, researches, and other things as a teacher. You get information in the comfort zone where you are. You get all of those information and you get what you are looking for. The internet and personal computers fundamentally reshaped education by democratizing access to information and enabling flexibility. All of those ones, all of us seated here can give testimony onto that. That for those that have been teachers for those number of years, long before now, when they are here today, they will say, oh no, we teachers of nowadays have no challenges of life. We get information, instructional materials, get materials that we can package them together and teach our pupils and students in the class very, very easy. So those ones are the things that we have. The era of personalized and intelligent learning, that is this particular era that we are right now. Students of these days, teachers of these days in the educational sector, they personalize information and learning. Look at what happens in the AI stage where we are right now. We will come to that. Next slide, please. Next slide. Good. Locally relevant EdTech solutions. There are very local relevant EdTech solutions that we have, very local within us that we can have. There are examples of EdTech tools specifically relevant to local educational needs. Particularly, let me start with my very country, Nigeria. There's this particular one, is an indigenous teacher who has this at the back of his mind, localizing it, making it look local into the culture that we have in our own area, which I believe now is on the online that others are using. But in the initial, he's using it for our own particular local kind of way of doing things. And you could believe with me that whenever our teaching are localized, our students or our children tend to get to understand it better than when they are not being considered into our local way of doing things. And that came with ULesson, a Nigerian platform designed for the West African curriculum, meaning its content directly addresses what students need to learn in their local context. EDVIS, a school management system that likely helps with the specific administrative and learning challenges faced by schools in the region of Africa that I'm talking about. Google Classroom. Google Classroom is widely used. It's a widely used platform in developing countries for blended learning, offering flexibility and accessibility that can be beneficial in various local settings. What is you can believe that with me. Google Classroom has turned a lot of things into so many things, and it is very friendly. The environment of this tool is very, very friendly, that you could see that is widely used by so many people, and by that it helps a lot. It helps a great deal to integrate this technology into our classroom of today. You have your Google Classroom, you set it up, your students have their tablets that you have in the class. In situations like the developing countries where they don't have, there are a lot of solutions to them that we can provide for our teachers to use in the classes. What I used to do as a teacher in my class, which I did, and it is helping me. The class I'm teaching is a primary school where it's very rare you see a primary school child having a smartphone with him or her. But you can use the parents, or we can use the school. If the school have a computer lab, we can have some particular information that we can use that helps us, and these children will learn something very, very important, that it can give them some sense of belonging by engaging them actively into the classroom. Google Classroom, ULessons, and the rest of them help us in that much. Next slide, please. EdTech in developing countries, progress and challenges. Now, as you rightly can understand with me, some of us that are in this particular session of the webinar would believe with me that not all of us are on the same level of this technology integration. Some that are in this particular session are from the developed countries which now possibly with them, we are just wasting their time. But I so much believe there's no knowledge that is a waste. No matter how small it is, you will see something that is different from the one you have been used to before. Now, we are now in the developing countries like my country and some other countries that we are here. What are the developing countries' progress and challenges that we have in this technology wise that we are looking at? Increased adoption of learning platforms. Those are some of the progresses that we have. There's an increase of recent. You discover that because of the importance and the knowledge that we have, we could see that technology now has increased adoption in learning platforms, where you see in different places, the teachers, the government of the day, in various levels, are trying to bring all those things up. And why is it so? There are a lot of challenges that could prompt us to having those things come up to existence. We have challenges of crisis. We have challenges of outbreak of other diseases. Has prompted almost all countries of this world, both the developed and the developing countries, to imbibe these cultures to help us. Come to see a situation of COVID that took place around 2019. What helped the system of education that stands its test of time was educational technology. That was the very time that every country came to see the importance of educational technology and have given it a priority, adopted, and the increase in the learning platforms increases. E-learning and the rest of them. Internet and power supply issues. These are some of the challenges. Now we are into the challenges. We discover that in some particular countries that are developing, internet facilities are challenges into us. When you see the chart that is here, you could understand with me that the areas where they don't have this connectivity of the internet, mostly it affects the inflow, the free flow of usage of this educational technology, since it is working effectively, or it works very well with the help of technology and the internet. Now we have power supply. In a situation where there's no power in the schools that we have, actually the teachers in those particular countries will find it very difficult to see themselves applying this particular technology in their classes and integrating it. And by then, sometimes it now results them into reverting back to the traditional way. But we are hoping and believing that things will improve very well for us in the developing countries to match up and meet up with these challenges, so that we can be better people, and teaching will no longer be something that we will have it as a difficult thing for us again. Policy gaps and teacher training needs. This technology we're talking about, the integration of technology, is not just for us to just dive into it, but it needs coaching, training, development, which when I checked into the situations of recent, my researches have shown to me that educationally, so many people have embarked on capacity building, and policies of government now are gearing towards having this educational technology. Just like I told you, we were working up as a result of what? The calamities that we found ourselves in. And today, you see, teachers are having varied ways of training. So it is expected that government and individual teachers, this development is for us. We shall come to it. If you fail to develop yourself, you now have yourself to be blamed, because when you are not technologically sound, you discover that somebody will take up that job from you. If the government didn't do it, try and see a situation of what? Having yourself into it and do it. We pray and ask that government should make policies that are favorable for us to have a way into this technology integration, and it will help us. Next slide, please. Economic benefit of technology integration. Yes, in technology integration, there are so many benefits that we can drive as teachers. Come to look at it from this point. As a teacher, you are using technology, you are integrating it in the class, and by integrating it in the class, you use it and it enhances your class practices. Your class practices are improved. Your class practices are looking more better. Now, how do you see it when you use it again to benefit you? It serves as source of income for you, because as you use it and others are also learning through it, it attracts, it's an influencer, and people get to do a lot of things from it. One of this economic benefit of it is increased teachers' proficiency and productivity. Once you are using this technology on and on and on and on, it will definitely, your efficiency and productivity will definitely be improved. And if it improves, as a teacher in your own local place, like I am right now, connecting to the entire world, if not for technology, I wouldn't have done that. And continuous doing it like this would make me efficient in doing it. And I will have enough of productivity that will help me. So that is the economic benefit of technology integration in the classroom for us teachers. Second, it expands jobs opportunities in the digital economy. When you are not technologically wise, in the traditional way, nobody gets to know you. You remain in your own comfort zone. Nobody knows your potential. But you remember, what God has given unto you is no longer for you, but it is for others to also tap from you. And when you integrate technology in the classroom, and others are also benefiting from it like this, you expand your opportunities, your job opportunities in the digital economy. Somebody can see you doing something using the social media and see your job as something that is good for and get to look for you. It boosts national GDP by fostering a tech-driven workforce. That is correct. After that, you discover these statistics that these are just from the researches I have or studies I have, that 72% of teachers report improved lesson delivery with educational technology. That I assure you. And for us seated and in this session can believe with me that if not more than that, teachers that have improved lesson delivery with educational technology. Look at what has happened in the AI. Various tools like Teaching and the rest of them. They are tools that today you sit within 2-3 minutes, you have finished planning your lesson. Is that not a way of improving in your own lesson delivery with educational technology? It gives provision for you, it gets templates that you use them effective. Next is digital learning platforms reduce textbook cost by 40%. Yes, everybody can believe with me that today people no longer read textbooks because they get those materials, hard copy ones. But if you put them on social, online, people go through it and read it using just their data. So it has reduced the cost of books to that. That is an economic benefit to a teacher who doesn't have money to obtain these hard copy textbooks to read and improve in his own knowledge. So all of those ones are economic benefit. Instead of taking your money to go and use in buying these textbooks, you will no longer buy those textbooks because you can access them online easily. 65% of jobs in 2030 will require digital skills. Yes. So if you are trained and you are integrating technology in your classroom, you are a beneficiary of this 2030 required digital skills. Therefore, we as teachers, we have a reason to come on board, to see ourselves as doing what is worth doing. Next slide, please. Best practices for selecting these educational tools. As a teacher in a class, is it just any particular tool you see on the social media that you use? Is it just anyone that you feel as a teacher? For example, you are teaching in the primary school, or you are teaching in the secondary school, or you are teaching in the universities or in the tertiary institutions. The tools you will use in the primary school sessions are different from the tools you use in the secondary and tertiary as well. Now, how do we select them? One, ensure alignment with learning objectives. You must ensure that the tool you are using is a tool that will give you ways into how to obtain get your learning objectives that you want to see a behavioral change in the life of your students. Choose user-friendly and accessible tools. Once you are using all of those ones, it helps in the class. By using them, you choose a friendly one, not these particular tools that when you enter into the forum, the environment, it becomes very complex for you. You cannot be able to operate it in that. The best practices you are looking for that can be used in the classroom cannot be possible. Prioritize data security and student privacy. All of those ones. Once you are using a tool that will benefit the child in the class, make sure you prioritize the security of the student and the privacy of the student. So in selecting your tools, you always have to factor in those particular ways of doing things. The tools that I feel they are more comfortable and friendly are as follows, which I have explained. The Google Classroom, which I said they are widely used by many people because it's friendly. We have the Kahoot. The Google Classroom is for assignment and classroom management. You also can get a Kahoot for gamified quizzes. We have Edmodo for student collaboration. Quizzes is for what? Interactive assessment. All of these ones will now help us to give the best and integrate very well in the classroom of today. The poll question that we have is there for you. What challenges, if for example you have been using any of these particular tools, what challenges do you face in selecting EdTech tools? Do you find it very difficult? I believe you have gone through them. Yes?
Very tight competition among two challenges that are very common for teachers. 34% of us feel that limited internet access is a challenge, and another 29% of us say that high cost of tools and subscriptions is a challenge.
Wow. That's a very good one. Yeah, those ones can actually come in. They are very common ones that we can get them everywhere. But we will look for a way of trying to look for a way of mitigating that so that we see a situation of scaling through those one. Network actually has been a very big challenge, and the cost of books and the rest of them, and the materials and having access to that, as they have rightly said, I agree with us. But that exactly will help us. God will help us to scale through as teachers. Next slide, please. Now, we will look for now, what are the strategies? After looking at this, how do we blend this technology with the traditional way of doing it? How do we blend it? So now we can have these particular ways or strategies. The first one is flipped classroom model. I somewhat like a flipped classroom model. This is one of the topics I showcased in the last presentation of the Global Teachers Meet. Now, you see, I have discovered that we have rushed our students into technology, not taking them in the right channels of following them the way they can do it. We skip a lot of gaps and take them into the advanced one. But I would love to look at it from this point, that if I could flip a class, flipping a class, I mean, I should have more of the discussions given in a pre-class situation. I now can record a pre-class session and now can give out to students to take it home. And I always want to say I prefer taking this particular method of using it. Why? Because I can see that our students or our children of today are so attracted to whatever that looks like video and with audio. They are attracted to it and they watch it. Now, what is proper for us to blend it is you do a pre-class session of the topic you are presenting either much later today or tomorrow, and you send it to students. It could happen that some of these students, for example, like my own case, as I told you, I'm teaching in the primary school where my students don't have, my pupils don't have smartphones, or they don't have cell phones or the rest. But what happens is it's very rare now for you not to have parents not having smartphones. So I call on the parents. We sat together, agreed on a particular time that I will be sending these pre-class videos onto them. They will sit with their children at home, play it to them. The children learn there and continue to learn there. But I will not give them so much that will result into having the answers there, because cheat can also come in there. But when you give it to them, you prepare the in-class. There will be an in-class, and in the in-class, the activities you will develop in the in-class will be activities that will dwell so much on what you have given them at home, to allow them to bring out the points or the facts or the knowledge you have want them to learn from it. So you see, when you use the flipped classroom model, it will help in blending the technology with technology with traditional teaching in the classroom. The other one is gamification and interactive quizzes. When you use that, which people are so of recent, I can see people are using so much of gamification in the class. It's game and the rest of them. You play some games for them, and that helps them to get acquainted with the topic very well. These are mostly traditional ways of doing that are being blended into the technological ways, and it has given them a lot of advantage over it. Virtual and augmented realities in learning. You can see what is there in the picture that is there. That gives a very good example of the VA that is in motion. Next slide, please. Students' engagement through digital resources. One, interactive videos and simulations. How do you engage these students into these digital resources? By interactive videos. You use either in your computer rooms or in your class that is prepared in that way. We use it so that these students can be engaging in it. Online collaboration tools like the Google Classroom that we have talked about, all of those ones engage these students into these digital resources. What of this AI personalized learning, AI-driven personalized learning apps? These AIs that are in various places, but it's not the AI in itself. The AI, giving the AI in itself, does not give you the solution. But what are the prompts you have been feeding the AI with? Are they the prompts that can give the result, the directions to the AI to give you good results? Check them very well before you give. Now have these pull questions. Pull question. Which digital tool do you use most frequently? And I have the center team. Can you give me the rundown of the responses from the participants?
Again, very compelling results. 44% of us use PowerPoint and Google Slides actively in the classroom. But another 27% of us also use educational videos very regularly, and 24% of us use WhatsApp very regularly. However, only 5% of us use simple educational apps.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. So that's good. So you can see that it goes along with what I'm just saying here, that interactive videos, all of these ones help. So it is agreed that when you use it like that, the students will be engaged very well. Now, let's come to this. Which other countries have used this and has helped them? Case study of leading edtech countries that we have. We have the top edtech countries. We have like USA, stroke UN, online stuff. They talked about online. We have Germany, Canada, job training tech, Australia, Singapore, tech research, South Korea, Japan, science stroke mathematics tech, Finland, Denmark, student focused tech. This is the one that the Finland and the Denmark is the one that touches my heart. The student focused technology. Because in this age we're looking at, all our attention as teachers is what will the students be engaged? What is my focus? What is your focus as a teacher to the student whom you are teaching in a class? In Nigeria, local startups of lessons, just like I've said, bridging educational gaps in all of those ones. How to catch up? Google Internet Stroke devices. When we have those ones, for those that we are not catching up with the top edtech countries, we have Google good Internet Stroke devices, train teachers, good online lessons, text that helps learning. All of these ones, when we move into these ones, it will help us to achieve and catch up with those other countries. The intention, I believe, of Center having me here in my own country and other countries is for us to have a unified way of presenting lessons in the class as teachers. Next slide, please. The team, Center team, next slide, please. Good. There are conspiracy theories about AI in classrooms today. So many conspiracies that, they shouldn't be, teachers are complaining. But should we complain? Let's look at it. The conspiracy number one, that AI will replace teachers. Is that true? I don't think so. AI is meant to what? To assist teachers, not take their place. AI cannot take place of a teacher. You have the AI, and when you have the AI, it's the human beings. Even though time is coming that robots will do it, but when you have a teacher in the class doing it, and the teacher knows how to do it very well, nobody will take charge over your life. And that is why it is advisable for us teachers to integrate ourselves into this technology, to belong, to have ourselves into the system very well, so that we can be beneficiaries of tomorrow's classroom. The truth of the next conspiracy is that AI will control students' mind. AI cannot think for students. It only gives information based on what human programs into it. Whatever you key in is whatever AI brings out for you. So it will not control the mind of the student in the class. I don't think to believe that. So conspiracy, again, another AI spies on students and steal their data. The truth is, good AI tools followed rules to protect what? Students' privacy. Schools can what? Can control how data is used. Schools, teachers, we have a lot of responsibilities in this. We can be able to do it to control it. We are the one teaching them, and we are the one that will help in that again. Another conspiracy is that AI will make students lazy. I don't think so. I don't think so. When used correctly, AI helps students think better and solve problems faster, so they will not be lazy rather. The next pool center team can help me with the outcome. What concern do you have about AI in education?
Just a moment, sir.
All right.
Yes, so 41% of us say that it impacts the student's mental health. Another 41% of us say that the dependence on technology is what concerns them. 18% of us are concerned about the bias and fairness in the algorithms.
Okay. That's very good. So the next slide is essential tools for effective EdTech integration. A rundown on that. The LMS, it manage classes and materials very well. Interactive tools that engage learners with polls, quizzes, and videos. Assessment tools, quick fund students evaluation, and the rest of them. Examples are Kahoot and the rest. Collaboration tools. We have content creation. We have video conferencing. We have digital whiteboards. We have educational apps, cloud storages, and what? Teacher training. All of these are essential tools that are good for effective EdTech integration. Next slide, please. How do we overcome these challenges in educational in technology integration? One, limited infrastructure and connectivity. Those are some of the challenges that we have. It has rightly been mentioned above. Training teachers are for digital transformation. We need to train teachers for digital transformation. Addressing students' digital literacy gaps. There are in some countries or in some places in the school where you can now see that there are gaps in the literacy, the digital literacy of our students. Then we try as much as possible to see that we do that. Schools can partner with EdTech firms for affordable internet connectivity. Next slide. Next slide, please. All right. So you can listen to this, listen carefully and see. After the whole of this, are we just lecturing? Or is there a possibility of us seeing this thing actively happening in the class? Please, center team, can you play this video for me? Play this video.
The teacher greets the class, draws circles on the board, explains what a half and 1/30s mean, then asks students to copy notes. Students are passive. There's no real interaction, just listening and copying. Now, in the technology integrated method, the teacher starts with a fun, relatable question. Using a smartboard, animated shapes are divided. Students actively respond and take part in a 60-second game challenge on tablets. In just 3 minutes, the second method creates energy, excitement, and deep understanding. The teacher becomes a guide while students explore and learn actively.
That's a very good one. Are you that teacher that wants to be actively in the class? Or are you that teacher that wants to just be a facilitator? What will be of it? Conclusion and recap. Importance of thoughtful educational technology integration are the things that we have looked at. Best practices in selecting and using digital tools. Encouragement to continue professional development, which we have rightly said. Thank you images and social media contact details. Economic and social benefits of educational technology. These are the things we have talked about. Next slide, please. Wow. Now, what are the things that you can take home as a teacher? As we wrap up today's journey, which is very, very essential and key into the world of technology integration, remember this: technology doesn't replace great teaching, it amplifies it. The real magic happens when passionate teachers like you and me use the right tools to connect, inspire, empower learners. You don't have to be perfect with technology. Just be willing, curious, and consistent. Let's not wait for the future of education. Let's create. Let's create it. One click, one class, one child at a time. Thank you and thank you. Before you lock out of this, give us one word that tells you about what you have learned today. Thank you so much. Thank you for good listening. Thank you.
We are waiting for one takeaway, one word takeaway from the session from all of you in the chat. And we are also waiting for any questions that you have that you would like to ask, sir, before we take a leave. Very quick, a few questions and a few terms that you retain from the session. I have one question that I received during the session, which was, can you please suggest some science-based simulation tools for the classrooms?
You say it again.
Yes. Any science-based simulation tools that we can use in the classroom?
Okay, now for the science simulation that we can use, you know, in science deals with practical applications. And if the tools that you can use for sciences are tools that will give you a room for you to now apply and have some sense of reasoning and thinking into it. Let's look, for example, a tool like the teaching. The teaching app is one of the good apps that a tool that you can use for sciences, because it gives you, even with the templates that you can key in and bring a lot of practical application, practical things that will help the child in the class to do it. So when you use a tool like teaching, it gives you a very good way of planning your lesson that covers the simulation aspect of the science.
That's right. That's right. That's really helpful. Another question that we have is interesting and very common, but also very important to be addressed, which is technology not blocking the thinking process of the children? Is it not taxing their eyes?
Can you say it again?
So
Can you come again?
is technology not blocking the thinking process of the children, and is it not impacting the eyes, which is the physical health also?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. The brain is meant to reason. The brain is meant to work. So technology rather help in fostering the thinking ability of the child, not overloading it and not making it somehow different. But technology, it is the individual that commands the technology. So how will the technology now become a problem to the student?
Okay, all right. That's a fair take. I think as teachers, all of us are also in process of understanding what technology is available and how can we leverage it. So, brain is meant for thinking, and it is also on how we use the technology, as said by you. Very correct. The third and the
Yes.
last question for the session. Since AI in education is a very buzzword today, so can you suggest some education specific AI tools except for Chat GPT or Gemini?
Okay, actually, some AI technologies, these AI tools, every day you see them coming up. But I am very, very used to the BERT AI that is called BERT. I am very, very friendly with it. You can get an up-to-date information about that. You also have the Perplexity is yet another one aside of the chat GPT and the rest of them. There are very many of them. And even some will you if you are very current, some of them, even today, you can see some of them coming up. But how effective are those ones? But the ones that I suggest I can use, but helps so much in getting those ones work very well for teachers. Thank you so much for.
Okay, so sir suggested two AI tools that he is very comfortable with, and is also asking all of us to explore as things are being developed, and since as the landscape is changing. On that note, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dogra Gopep, for a very
Yes.
engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I am sure
Thank
that
you.
our teachers have taken lots of takeaways from this session. You can also see the comments; it's filled up with that the session was really interesting and informative. Let me check if there is any other question. I don't see any other question. So, with that, I think we can close the session. Now, if you have registered and filled out the feedback form for the session, Check your participation record in the app in the My Learning section. I will guide you through the instructions. Step 1 is to open the Center app on your device. Step 2 is to navigate to the ongoing webinar section. Step 3, click on the submit feedback. Please note that this option will be available at 6, so we are already at that time. Step 4, at the end of the session, we will share a 4-digit code requirement for the feedback. Enter this code to access the feedback form, and the code is already shared in the chat with all of us, and I can also share it with you. It is 2386. I repeat, 2386. Step 5 is to complete the feedback form, and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. This new process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure your participation is instantly recognized by the center team. Important announcement is that the feedback form will be available only through the center app and will not be shared in the session or in the chat. You can download the center app right now, right away through the Play Store, and thank you so much to all of you participants for engaging with us today. To register for more such upcoming webinars, please visit the Center app. Good night.